Chief, Councillor Ross-Robinson.
Thank you, Your Worship. I move that Council approves the hiring of the person named in Management Report HR-2022-05 for the position of Fire Chief with the Miramichi Fire Department effective February 1st, 2023.
Thank you, Councillor. On the question, seconding. I apologize. Sorry, Councillor King seconds the motion. On the question, Councillor Ross-Robinson.
Thank you, Worship. I'm pleased to be making this motion this evening. As the Chair of Public Safety and Environment Committee, I was selected by my colleagues here to participate in the process, a duty that I did not take lightly. Having worked over half of my life in the first recommendation is accepted.
Thank you, Councillor. Further on the question, if anyone else would like to speak.
Hope that although I'm not supportive, I hope that the candidate will prove me very wrong and that I will do everything that I can to make that so moving forward should the motion pass. But I've struggled with this one from my own perspective. So yeah, I hope I'm wrong. I truly do.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor King.
Thank you, Worship. I'll be supporting the new gentleman that's going to be hired here. The simple reason is, over the last 24 years since I've been here, I've seen a lot of chiefs come and go. And I've seen some issues that I didn't like. And we need somebody strong as a deputy chief to help alternate the people on the front line and the people in the staff. I think a good, strong deputy chief, I'm always for people in-house in the Miramichi area to get the jobs, as you all know. I stress that quite a bit. But I think on this one, I think we need a good, strong deputy chief from within our ranks so they can alternate with the chief and the lads with boots on the ground. I think we need that. And I think it should be in our own ranks for us to get a chief eventually down the road that can work with the people. I think not to brag or boost myself, I think the firemen are a great organization, and I believe in them. I couldn't do their job. They put their life on the line every time that horn goes off, and I respect that. The same as our policemen. And I pray for these people every night. Every night I pray for them, that they come home safe. That's no word lie. But I respect the people there. And with this one, like I said, I think I have to go with the gentleman that's been approved, or not approved, but the name that's here. And I hope that, according to Mike, I was talking to our city manager, that he will be talking to these people no matter who gets the job, the chief and the deputy chief, to make things work in this organization. And I think it can. I follow Councillor Ross-Robinson's flow on that, and I just hope, and I know it will work out. But anyway, I just want to say that. I think we can make this work. Thank you. But we need a person in our own ranks for deputy mayor. That's just my feeling. Deputy chief. Deputy chief, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Don't fire me yet.
Thank you, Councillor King. Councillor Summers.
Thank you, Your Worship. I feel as though we're in a pretty bad spot with this one, quite frankly. I understand the hiring committee. I understand that the vote's unanimous, like it says in front of me right here. And I understand that management is telling us that he's the #1 candidate, you know, in everyone's eyes. But I'm also well aware of the fact that he's not necessarily well received by the department themselves, which puts us, that's why I say we're in a bad spot. Like, I really don't feel like I want to vote either way, but when you sit in one of these chairs, you do have to vote. And like Councillor Arseneault said, sometimes it's not an easy thing to do. Truthfully, in my 6 years of sitting here, it's probably the hardest one I've had yet. And I guess at the end of the day, in my eyes, it's the hardest department to deal with in the city by far. It's not even close. And at the end of the day, my gut is telling me that we could potentially be making what's already a bit of a dysfunctional department that much worse if we go with the recommended candidate. And the part that really is eating at me is that if I go against a recommended candidate, which I'm inclined to do, I still don't know where that leaves us at the end of the day, because where do we go from there? Or who then becomes the next candidate, or what is that process? It's not a good situation either way. So I guess, for lack of a better word, I'm somewhat begrudgingly going to be a nay on this one this evening. Thank you.
Thanks, Councillor Summers. Councillor Harris.
Thank you, Your Worship. Yeah, I mean, first, you know, the hiring committee, you know, it's a job that was asked and a job that was well done, obviously, and I do respect everyone's opinion from that. I know it was unanimous, and you guys, you know, it's never an easy decision to bring a name back. Hiring inside or outside the city, I don't have the same as Councillor King. My thing is I always want to hire the best candidate, I guess, for the taxpayers, and that's my job. And right now, I'm not sure if my gut is telling me, and I'm going to go with like Councillor Ross-Robinson last week, you got to come in here and vote with your gut. My gut is not telling me to go this way, and I will not be supporting this motion this evening. And if I read the room right, which I have for the last week, I guess, I do believe it will pass, and I'll wish the best of luck to the candidate. But at this time, I will not be supporting it this evening.
Thank you, Councillor. Deputy Mayor Quinn.
Thank you, Your Worship. I share the sentiments of Councillors Arseneault, Summers, and Harris at this point in time. Tough file for sure. The candidate who was put forth, the success of this candidate, if it is to be pushed through, will be the success of the city, and I can live with that. But at this point in time, I will be a nay on this. And with the utmost respect of the committee that was struck to appoint a candidate, or excuse me, nominate a candidate, and out of respect for the current fire service, I will be a nay.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor Quinn. Councillor Duplessie.
I came in today a little bit undecided, a lot undecided. Appreciate all the kind of sentiment shared here to this point. It's important for me to know and for me to share that I wasn't lobbied. There was no emails that I responded to. There was no phone calls that I took. There's no coffees I took. I didn't respond to the messages about where I'm going with this. It might be a surprise to some here, but for me, it is a gut thing. For me, it's a leadership thing. This is a long-term position. This is a 30-year position. This is a 25-year position. And we've struggled to find the right synergies in the organization. I think we owe it to the community. We owe it to the department. However, you know, the amount of issues that are there. And also, I just want to pause quickly, too, and just kind of, yeah, just credit to the folks here that have to make these tough decisions. Credit to the folks that had been responded and responded to the call, the nomination to make this recommendation. It was discussed at that point that we go around the route of a headhunter. We had dismissed that based on financing. I think if there was a time machine, I would have gone back to that moment again. But for this vote, I am a nay based on the critical point and the long-term nature of this decision. Status quo cannot maintain itself. It's very troubling that there's people's livelihoods on the line here and people that got to go into work and do their job on Monday. But for me, the status quo cannot maintain itself, and this seems to be a vote in the direction of maintaining a status quo. And yeah, I don't know where the process goes, but hopefully we can get there at the end of the day. But yeah, that's where I'm at. Sorry for that.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Johnston, I don't know if you'd like to speak, but the offer is there, and if not, I will call the vote.
I spoke at length on this issue. People in the room know where I stand. Committee, an objective committee, interviewed candidates, functional specialist that was an expert, that was completely objective and brought in here, sat on that table, and determined that the man for the job that was chosen not only could do was the best pick for it. I've never been a firefighter, but I've been a first responder for almost 30 years. Tough job. It's a tough job managing people that can at times be challenging. As I already stated, this department is a challenging department. Think about it. If the candidate coming in has already got heat from one end, there's looking at the people to decide whether I should be hired. He doesn't have unanimous support. To me, I don't know how he feels, but I would feel disappointed in that. So I support him. I commend him for having the courage to stand up and take the job, facing the pressures that he's under right now. I wish him the best success. And if I can do anything to support him going forward as a member of council, I will. I hope he gets a job. He's unanimously decided to get the job. And in my mind, he's shown the courage to do it. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. And look, we understand that these are difficult and incredibly important decisions. So I appreciate every member of council speaking where they're at tonight, and I will do the same for transparency. I, of course, was a member of the hiring committee who brought forward the recommendation for the recommended candidate based on who was who we interviewed, and this was the best candidate who is perfectly capable of doing the job from my perspective. So I will support the motion tonight as well. And just to offer, as everyone else did, a few thoughts around that. So with that, I will call the vote. Oh, Councillor Ross-Robinson, yes, you can speak one more time.
I will speak once more just to close it out. Well, the writing on the wall doesn't look promising, but I've been at the table since 2016. Since I've been here, the department hasn't been happy with their chief. Before I was at this table, I heard nothing good about any chief that we ever had. So I dare say that unless there's a magician somewhere on this earth that wants to move to Miramichi and make everybody happy, we're hard pressed to fill that position. I reiterate what I said earlier. I believe that he is capable. I believe that he has exceeded what is necessary for his credentials and requirements. We need an administrator. He is an administrator. To say that I'm not disappointed, I would be lying. But it is what it is. But
Thank you, Councillor. We'll call the vote. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Nay. So motion is defeated 4-5. And with that, it's my understanding, Mr. Manager, that the hiring committee will reconvene and
Yeah, I guess so.
the hiring committee will reconvene and begin a new search. And as was mentioned earlier, I will strongly urge that we engage the support of a professional recruiter at this point. So that motion is defeated. Search will continue. With that, that is the final motion this evening. So we now move into our Christmas